Hey, Kristen, what's going on? So you were just up. Do you have another question, honey? Kristen? Kristen?
She's muted.
Okay, I can't unmute her, so I don't know what's going on. She already asked her question, so I don't know what's going on. She can ask it in chat, sweetheart. It's really okay. All right, we have someone else backstage. Well, hey, who's this? How are you?
Hello, Brooks.
Hi, have you ever been up here before?
No, but you know me.
I do?
Yeah.
This is MamaT. This is MamaT.
Oh, okay. How are you doing, honey?
I am good. I am good. I have a couple of questions for Ernie. Like they're pretty serious questions, Brooks, if I may. Would that be okay with you?
It's up to you. If he wants to answer, that's fine. I don't know the questions, so I can't give you the answers.
He won't answer. Well, it's your panel, so I was being respectful. Ernie, where were you for 5.5 hours when you disappeared in June of 2021? When you and Cody and that other guy disappeared, where were you?
You'll have to rephrase the question more on that there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so the day that Summer supposedly, I'm going to say supposedly, went missing, on the 15th, we were doing our first predator hunt and our first bust over at Newport City Park. We was over at Newport, and the individual was named Tim Jones. I was talking with the Cobb County Sheriff's Department, the allegiance over to the Homeland Security, which is Michael Whitmer, which is one of the sheriff's deputies. The 5.5 hours that people seem to always bring up, the 5 to 6 hours, is the time limit that the guy was supposedly talking, the predator was talking to the 15-year-old or 14-year-old or whatever we had decoy. So that was the time limit for that day. So I don't know when people say I went missing. I mean, we went out to Huddle House, and then I think we went over to Pigeon Forge. And during this time, I had the Sheriff's Department over. But I was just pretty much scoping out other places we was going to film and what we were going to do for a future predator bust. I don't know why people ask me about where I was at and all this, but that's the truth.
Well, people ask because of your own words, Ernie. You say you regret ever getting into this case.
Okay, may I ask something? Is that okay? Because this show is not about Ernie. What does this have to do with Summer? Someone's going to have to put the puzzle pieces together for me.
Okay, well, let me put it together for you, Brooks. He was missing for 5.5 hours per his teammates and his own words the day Summer went missing. Okay. Let me also hold on. Let me also ask you this, Ernie. What test question did you fail when you took the polygraph test on the Summer Wells case?
No, I don't even know what you're referring to on that there, Mama.
You're lying. Oh my goodness, you're lying, Ernie. Why are you lying? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I was never a suspect in the Summer Wells case. There was never no reason.
I didn't say you were suspected, Ernie. I did not say you were suspected.
No one thinks you're a suspect. Where were you on June 15th of 2021? And who is saying that you had 5.5 hours?
I don't know. It's something they bring up. I don't know. I've never heard, I heard it before, but I never thought of the magnitude that people would actually run with. But you know how this is on the internet. I mean, it's just everything.
I know, but I mean, is this something that you made up to get attention? Or did you really take a polygraph about Summer Wells? Because people will run with it. They will.
Oh my God. People run with anything and everything. And no, I was questioned. Well, I was questioned. Well, you know what I've said about, you know my involvement and stuff with certain things. And you talked to other agents and stuff about me, correct? So I have said things. Yes, I've said a lot of things. Like when I was questioned. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was questioned. I never failed anything. There was one thing that came out. Do I know exactly? Or I forget how it was rephrased. But do I have an idea where Summer Wells is? Yes, I do. I do have an idea. Just like anybody else has an idea. And that happens a lot when people are very, very attracted to the case and they know a lot about the case. But yeah, that's a good question. Good deal. Thank you.
Hi, Brooks.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm just confused. That's the reason I have to guide myself through this. I'm wading through very.
I hear you. Hi, MamaT.
And so I just don't know if at one time Ernie was trolling people.
Oh, who the hell knows? I want to ask this, real quick, okay?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. Has it been proven that Summer Wells is deceased? I haven't heard anybody find anything. Why aren't people looking for a missing Summer Wells instead of a deceased Summer Wells? Because I'm going to tell you. I believe that Don and Candace love that little girl, especially Don. And I don't think Don would let anything harm that child. I think they knew what was coming down the road with DPS, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? They passed that child on to somebody they knew and trusted. And I believe that child is alive. I think you guys are beating a dead horse looking for a deceased child because it has not been proven that Summer Wells is deceased. That's all I want to say.
There has not been one press conference saying they believe she's deceased.
That's correct.
The only thing we have is a few days in, when they asked the TBI, Leslie Earnhardt was up there, do you believe she's deceased? Do you believe she's still alive? And Leslie shook her head no. And she said, we always hold out hope.
Well, I hold out hope, and I believe that child is alive.
And here's the thing.
Okay, so let me say this, and this is going to put this to rest. I can put this to rest real fast. In a criminal investigation child missing case, the fact of the matter is, will always stand, as long as the child is missing, the longer it goes on, the less that the child is active and seen or verifications of people seeing the child, then also the chances of the child being alive is very slim. Do you agree on that?
Somewhat, but not totally. Because,
okay, also,
because I know of people that have hidden children because of abuse, and they've hidden these children, and nobody's been able to find them. Believe me when I tell you that. So that can happen.
I know that, but let me finish the next part. Also, families and parents that are also being investigated before in prior cases have never referred to their children if they're alive being was, as in past tense. Also, Don Wells, being the person who is one of the main suspects in the case, has often referred to Summer Wells as he'll see her again in a resurrection. So there's so many ways.
When it's time for her to turn 18 years old, he'll see her again. Maybe that's what he's talking about, not necessarily deceased.
Well, I don't think the resurrection means when anyone turns 18 years old. And I understand your concern and your passion toward this, but the thing about it is,
it's not concern, it's input.
Well, it may be input, but you're putting a little bit more too much into Don Wells. Don Wells has stated before that he said these things and she's worth a lot of gold. So here's the things that what we do know and what I believe in my heart from the places in.
Okay, let me say something right now. Janaka is a very, very good friend to me, and so we're not going to talk down to her. Okay.
First off,